And we're back, guys. Welcome to the channel. You see the title of the video, but we're also going to talk about tennis and the coaching changes. Do you like it? Is it good? Is it bad? We'll discuss that later. But first, the rematch for undisputed. That's right, guys. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. We're going to take a look at that. But as always, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act for the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, IBO, and ring heavyweight titles. Undisputed, the rematch from earlier in this year. Tyson Fury, can he get his championships back? Now listen, guys, Alexander Usyk from the hard-hitting Ukraine has destroyed the heavyweight division, right? Anthony Joshua twice by unanimous decision and split decision the second time. Daniel Dubois, who he just destroyed him in the ninth. He beat Tyson Fury last May by split decision. I felt that Tyson Fury won the earlier portion of that fight, slowed down a bit. We all know about that ninth round wobble where Usyk said he could have stopped him, took it easy on him. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, the rematch, how did it go? Now, if you're not familiar, Tyson Fury came into this fight 300 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. My personal opinion is I felt he came into this fight the bigger man, the bigger fighter, where he could use his weight and kind of bully Usyk around for most of this fight. We saw it against Wilder, right? Coming in very heavy, the heaviest on record. This here is the heaviest on record, 300 pounds. And I just felt the strategy was to hold, tie him up, tire him out in the later rounds, just kind of use that body to wear down the smaller fighter. But if you watch the fight, I think Oscar De La Hoya said it best, ladies and gentlemen. He said Fury needs to pop his jab out 2 to 3 times, keep the smaller fighter at bay, keep him off of him, but also go to the body, wear down the smaller man. You have that extra weight in the later rounds, so you're advantaged. But me being a former boxer, I can tell you, and Sugar said it best as well in the corner to Tyson Fury. Sugar, who I've met several times, one of the best coaches out there, he said to Fury, look, you have to keep your distance. He is coming and ending these rounds with flurries because you're letting him close the gap. Keep your distance. Use your jab. Keep him away. Move your feet. You are letting him win these rounds. I agree with Sugar. And my personal opinion is, based on what Oscar and Sugar said, having been a boxer, I will tell you that it looked like Tyson Fury didn't want to get caught with the left. He really did not want. And when you're fighting a southpaw, sometimes you don't see those punches coming. They're coming, as you're throwing out your jab, your left-handed jab. That's fine. You can stick. And that's where I thought Tyson Fury did wrong in this fight. And in case you didn't see it, Tyson Fury did lose this fight. Tyson Fury needed to pop that jab out. Bam, 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 bam. 2-3 times fast. Pull it back and move. Score points. Pop your jab out. 2-3 quick jabs and move. Rotate. Jab, rotate. Jab, rotate. Jab, footwork. Jab, footwork. In terms of the right cross, that is where I felt Tyson Fury was scared of that blind left, right? If he snaps out that right cross and Fury comes in with the left, I felt Tyson Fury felt his power. And being a boxer, when you see someone not throwing those punches, they're scared to get hit. That's exactly what it is. So if you're ever watching boxing and you see someone that is possibly the stronger, better fighter, and it doesn't look like they're fighting, they're scared to get hit, especially if they fought someone that has knocked them down before or wobbled them. They don't want to get hit. So I watching this fight, I can clearly see Tyson Fury did not want to get hit. I've never really thought Tyson Fury had a great chin, to be honest with you. He doesn't have great knockout power. Alexander hasn't really had a lot of knockouts. Maybe he could have pressed the issue more in his career. He's 37 years old now, but he doesn't have a lot of knockouts on record, but he does have power. And I felt that Tyson Fury felt the power, but I also felt he came in at 300 pounds to help absorb some of that power. And I just felt at times it seemed, I'm not going to say he necessarily got tired carrying the extra weight, but it seems at times his inactivity lost a lot of very close rounds. The official punch stat statistics show that Tyson Fury only outlanded Fury in the fourth round, right? Where he threw 41 punches, he landed 11, while Usyk threw 31 punches and landed 10. Every other round, Usyk outlanded Fury, with the exception of the first, where both men landed 6 punches. Now, for example, the second round, Usyk outlanded Fury by 5, right? In the third round by 1, in the fifth round by 2 punches, in the sixth round by 4, in the seventh round by 3 punches, in the eighth round by 3 punches, in the ninth round by 5 punches, in the 10th round by 1, in the 11th round by 8, in the 12th round by 4. So overall, it was a very, very close match. But if you take a look at the power punches landed, again, that fourth round, and with the exception of the 11th round, Fury never outlanded, in the ninth as well, in the 10th. But I felt the fight was tied up going into the 11th round. I felt it was 5-5. That's what I had on the scorecard. I did feel Tyson Fury won several of the earlier rounds. Through 6, I kind of had Tyson up 4-2. You know, it could have been a little closer. It could have been 3-3. It could have been 4-2. But going into the 10th, I felt Usyk covered that gap, and we all know Usyk kind of starts slow, but I just felt that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round, those are all critical, and that's where Usyk got back into the fight. I feel Tyson needed to keep the gas pedal on. He had to, and Sugar said it best. You're allowing him to close these rounds. And that's what great fighters do. We saw De La Hoya do that a lot. He was ringside, where it could be a very close round, but towards that last 30 seconds, they're coming in with flurries and they're stealing the rounds. And Usyk did a good job of that. Lomachenko's really good at that. Another Ukrainian fighter. Is he retired, by the way? They're good at coming in with these flurries and stealing the rounds. And Usyk, look, gold medal winner in the heavyweight division, at the 2012 London Games. We all know that even though he fought at cruiserweight, he can put on the weight, so it's not like he's at a disadvantage. We saw what he did to Joshua and Daniel Dubois. So yes, Usyk wins the fight. My personal opinion, I did feel that Tyson Fury, he wasn't active enough. You're not, and I say it all the time. Look, the old saying, a good big man beats a great little man any day of the week. Here, Tyson just wasn't active. He didn't show up. And the reality here is I just felt he wasn't active enough. In terms of the eye-opening statistics, right? Usyk connected on 50% of his power punches, 54% over the last 5 rounds. Now, all 3 judges gave the fight to Usyk 116-112. The AI ringside, for the first time ever judging this fight, had it, I want to say 118 to... They had Usyk winning 118. So I personally felt that going into the 11th round, it was tied. I gave Tyson Fury the earlier portion of the 11th round, but I did feel Usyk did win that 11th round. Again, he closed out the round well. In the 12th round, Tyson had his opportunities, but I did feel that Usyk stole that round. So I had Usyk winning this fight by 2 rounds. He won the 11th and the 12th. And I don't think you're going to take someone's title, especially the undisputed titles on the line, to be claimed undisputed. You got to go in there. You have to take those titles. I don't felt Tyson's pity pat punches all match long. Now, he did use the uppercut well. For him to walk out and act like he was shocked that he lost, he didn't take these titles from Usyk. He did not. He wobbled him early on and backed off. He has the power, but I just feel he's too scared. He felt the power of Usyk. I felt he was too scared to get wobbled. You got to go in there and leave it on the line. I don't felt Tyson Fury did that. Now, the rematch with Daniel, what do you guys think? He came into the ring asking for a rematch. Look, if you get knocked out by someone, I do think Daniel, with the win over Joshua, I do think that that's a confidence booster. He is the bigger man, If he comes in with the right game plan, I think he can beat Usyk, but Usyk's he's a class act. Look, he's just standing in the ring there, gathering his thoughts, and he's like, look, Warren, look, give him a rematch. He wants a rematch, let's do it. I like that. And look, Saudi Arabia is taking over. They said here they're trying to do $29.99 pay-per-views. They don't want people spending $60, $80, $100 on pay-per-view. They feel with $29 pay-per-views, more people will buy it, and you'll make more money overall. I do agree. Usyk has completely destroyed the heavyweight division. Now, it's possible he might go down as the greatest ever, at least in this era. He's beating everyone. He's not ducking anyone. And I like that class guy. Now, he didn't really talk about the Ukraine much and what's going on there. That situation's getting very intense, very brutal. And I don't know if that was a contract clause because he didn't talk about it. And it's very messy over there right now. Fury walked out. He had no words. He felt he was robbed. But let's get back to tennis for the tennis fans that love this channel and support this channel. Hit the super thanks, like the video. We're going to talk about the lower level guys, coaching. And first, as I say it all the time, I tell you guys who to watch out for, and I want you to watch out for Janice Chin. That's right. She's from Indonesia. She's 22 years old. Not much of a junior career, but you never know when it comes together for you. She's 41-3 on the season, 7 lower titles. That's right, guys. She is balling hard. Now, she wins this championship here in New Zealand. She takes out Hiromi Abe, that's right, guys, who's a solid player, 41 win season for her, a title as well. Now, I want you to watch out for Janice because she reminds me of Ashley Barty, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I see a lot of good things that Ashley Barty used to do. And again, she's young, right? But I like the one, I like the slice. I like the one-handed backhand slice. I love her defense. I love her footwork and how she moves. Now, she's not the most athletic player. She's pretty big for her age. She's not the most athletic player, but she closes out well. She has very good intuition. She knows where the ball's going to be. So again, not the most athletic, but she does move well. She closes out well. She covers ground with her stride, and her intuition is really good. So she takes this championship. That's number 7 on the year. But I want to talk about coaching. Now, this is a big, big topic, and we've seen in this tournament, coaches come on the court. Nick Fay, last match, I talked about it. Go watch the video. Coach right on the court, giving her tips, right? Going over how he wants her to strike that forehand. This is how I feel about coaching. I think on the lower level, especially the lower level girls, I do think that coaching should not be allowed. Why? Because on the lower level, in particular, the lower level, the girls ITF, I feel that if you have the right manager, if you have a big time coach, there could be a lot of disadvantages. If you have sponsors, endorsements, just by having the right agency or manager, that could get you a lot better resources than most, especially if you're a big name. That's going to give you a lot better resources than 99% of the players are going to play on the lower level. So if coaching is allowed, I think that can be an unfair disadvantage because the resources aren't fair, right? If you're with a big time agency or you have a big time sponsor backing you, you have a high profile coach, they can get you through all these matches, beating everyone with the right guidance. I feel on the girls level, coaching should not be allowed. Give them the opportunity to make it a level playing field, make it fair. Let them problem solve on the court. That takes away the monetary advantages that some girls are going to have. You agree or not? Now, on the main tour, all right, the WTA, it's a little different. There's, especially when we're talking about the top 50, the top 100 might be a stretch, but top 50, 30, 40, top 20, top 10, everyone has good resources. Everyone has, especially the top 10, everyone has good resources. Everyone has good professional coaches. Everyone has funds. You know, I think coaching should be allowed then, right? You have the opportunity to go out to the market, pick your coach that's going to work well with you. If it doesn't work, you fire him, replace him, hire a new coach. Coaching should be allowed. That's what you pay your coach for. There's big time endorsements. There's big time sponsors. You know, between Iga and Coco, they made nearly $60 million last year. They have the best resources. They can hire the coaches they want. And if you're paying that kind of money for a coach, your coach should be allowed to coach you in the matches. So on the professional level, I think coaching should be allowed. On the lower level, in particular girls, I do not think it should be allowed, because that creates a very unfair advantage, because not everyone has the same resources. When we're talking about the lower level, a championship like this that Janice won, she'll probably make $4,000 from it. That's travel. I mean, that's going to cover your travel, hotel, flight. This is not going to cover much, you know what I mean? And then you take away taxes, equipment. She's not going to get anything out of that 4,000. So if she doesn't have a huge sponsor or someone backing her, they're not making money on the lower level. The pros are making money, and not all of them. I've discussed this in the past. I'm not really going to go too deep in that topic right now. But on the lower level, especially girls, I don't think coaching should be allowed. Let them improvise, let them problem solve, because a lot of the parents are spending that money out of their own. We take a look at players like Danielle Collins, whose parents couldn't afford it. She had to go to college, right? They didn't have the funds for a high-profile coach. She got a lot of her coaching from her game, you know, at the college level where it was free, including her tuition with her scholarship. So depends on your position. So comment below. I'm your host, Good Energy. Tennis, boxing, Saturdays, weekends were made for championship tennis and championship match. I'll see you guys soon. We got a lot to talk about this week. Happy holidays, everyone. Love you all. Hit the super thanks, like the video. And if you're listening to this, go back and like all 7,000 of my videos. We'll see you guys soon.